Murli Notes, 18th February 2023. Pain in the world today is due to time. Why is there suffering among many people? Baba says there is suffering in the world due to it being the end of Kali Yuga. Most sensitive BKs believe their suffering must be due to past bad karma. Why is there this discrepancy? Some BKs are resolutely insistent on making themselves as miserable as possible by incorrectly understanding Gyan. Instead, they insist on thinking like undereducated Hindu-style devotees with minimum knowledge. This is the main form of waste thought going on in the minds of those people who gratuitously make themselves unhappy. You need to be very careful about this issue. If, as a BK, you take a small piece of the knowledge out of context, you will get yourself into trouble. What is the reason for this? It seems to be a combination of obstinacy, harshly judging the self, condemning the self, self-doubt, faulty logic, and assuming that feeling good about the self, regardless of circumstances, is actually sinful. You choose to step onto the roller coaster of extreme highs and extreme lows. This is not a good choice. Check yourself carefully and make sure you turn your mind away from such waste and negative thoughts about the self. If you are suffering, the reason is that it is the end of Kali Yuga. For this, Baba has provided his children with much wise information, the powers of tolerance and accommodation, and titles of self-honor. If you do not honor yourself, it means you have turned away from the awareness of being Baba's beloved child and honored student. Please wake up. Indeed, this is the time of settlement of karma. If you are suffering, it does not mean that you are a bad person. If you are in pain, whether physical, emotional, psychological, social, financial, or any other form of pain, the least intelligent response is to declare that you must suffer because you are a bad person or you must have done very bad actions. This is the response of the uneducated, blind, devotional, simple-minded, religious person. Do not categorize yourself as such. Certainly, you must refrain from making such declarations to and about other BKs. To do this to the self or to others is greatly foolish. Baba says here, you will find the wisest and the most foolish people. At the end of Kali Yuga, pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. Suffering is a choice. It is not a fact. It is important to separate the two. Pain is something you feel in the soul. Suffering is your reaction to that pain. The purpose of Baba giving us all this detailed and extraordinary knowledge is to give you a vast and unlimited toolbox that is supposed to be applied according to need. When you are experiencing pain, you have many options. The purpose of painful experiences, situations, and circumstances is to make you experienced and to make you strong. There is no other purpose. The common knee-jerk reaction to pain is to look for the cause and then blame that apparent cause. There is a tendency to interpret karma philosophy in this erroneous manner. Whatever you think the cause is, do not forget that the actual cause is the end of Kali Yuga. That means time. You are passing through the darkest time of human history, individually and collectively. As BK, you need to recognize that whatever pain you are in is due to time. It is a test to make you strong and experienced. It exists to oblige you to look at the bigger picture and stop seeing only a tiny piece of the play. You have been given the weapon of the Swadarshana Chakra, the cycle in which you can perceive the totality of yourself. It is a mirror. Look into this mirror. Spin the cycle and you will see your pure form. If you do not spin it, you will see only your impure form, and you cannot bear to look at this. If you do not spin the cycle of the self, you will be unstable. The cycle is a gyroscope that ensures your stability. This is a navigation tool that is essential on your journey through troubled waters. Use it, lest your ship capsizes in the storms of Maya. Perfection is about balance. Perfectionism is about having such a narrow perspective that you lose sight of the whole. Do not consider the word vritti to mean attitude. Consider it to mean perspective, and you will be more successful in your personal development. Baba says the devotees remember God, but they do not know God. Therefore, whatever conventional religion and morality say about God and about right and wrong are mostly incorrect. When you interpret Gyan according to the perspective of religion and morality, you will find yourself suffering and you will make others suffer. This is why Baba often says, do not cause harm and do not allow others to harm you. This is normally translated as do not give sorrow or take sorrow, but this translation is counterproductive because the word sorrow is emotive and subjective. Moral and religious people neither know the confluence period between the end of Kali Yuga and the beginning of Satyuga, nor do they know God. What they say about God and about the laws of spirituality are based on conjectures arrived at through sense perception. This is called ignorance. Om Shanti.